Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah.
Beats Planet.
Hey, yo, it's Voch Lombardi here doing an interview with Dez Bryant. Hey, Dez Bryant, would you like to come back and play for the Cowboys? Hell yeah, Voch. All right, cool. Yo, Dez Bryant, how do you feel about CeeDee Lamb? Would you like him to continue the legacy of '88? Oh yeah, hell yeah, man. CeeDee a good kid. All right, cool. Oh, I thought about that shit today and I screamed, dog. What if we gave? What if like spitefully? Stephen Jones, like we give CeeDee Lamb 88, and we said, fine, we'll bring Dez back to be a training camp guy to compete, and we make Dez change his number. What number does Dez wear? Does he just wear 8? 888? 08? What number does Dez Bryant wear? I thought about that shit today, and I couldn't wait to share it with y'all, man. Couldn't wait to tap y'all on the shoulder. Couldn't wait to go live today. Boy, I wanted to get that off my chest. All right, y'all. We in here. What's cracking? What's cracking? We got a lot of stuff to do today. Voch kick a freestyle real quick. No. Actually, I've been thinking about writing another freestyle, but we'll cross that road when we get there. Dez wear number 10. That's hilarious. So listen, what I wanted to do today, we got a lot of things to talk about today. I got a couple topics on my little notepad here. Let me just circle that. The 15 undrafted free agents got signed today. Cool, perfect. Sign them up. Cam Erving was signed today, but I wanted to call him Cam Fleming so bad because they're so similar. Like, who cares? I wrote Cam Fleming in the title of the live stream. I wrote Cam Fleming on my notepad. Whack as hell for writing that. I meant Cam Erving. So Cam Erving was signed today. Formerly Kansas City Chiefs last year, I believe, and I just know him as a Florida State guy. I haven't really kept up with him since then, but I didn't know much of him, so I was just gonna kind of watch some film on him to kind of learn what he was about. I didn't want to do a whole film session on him. I don't do film sessions on everybody. My patience just ain't there. So what I was gonna do was kind of just watch him and talk to y'all while I was doing my show. So we might have some live film today from Cam Erving, some old Kansas City Chiefs film. So stay tuned there. Also, I wanted to shout out Andy Dalton for coming out and say, hey man, you know, Dak's the boss. Dak is in charge. This ain't my team. Shouts out to young Andy saying that. Also, what I really wanted to get into was I wanted to get into some preliminary conversations about our depth chart. I think we are signing a gang of people. With signing a gang of people, that means you're going to have to cut a shit ton of people. All right. So I want to look at not only our rookies, but the guys that was kind of like rookies last year, and just kind of a handful of the free agent dudes that we've acquired, and just kind of scratch our head to prepare ourselves for who may or may not be on this goofy ass little team next year. Okay. That's going to be that. Also, I'm dropping film after this. Okay. It's going to be on an undrafted free agent. I would like for y'all to guess what undrafted free agent we're going to drop film on when this live stream is over. That may be a fun little thing to do. All right. So that's that. We have a gang of interesting things to talk about. So let's run it for the cardio. John Donovan off the rip says, I typed in Cam Fleming to my YouTube search for film. Ha. Same here, Voch. It just make you feel that way, man. It just make you feel that way, you know? It make you feel short dog. Elias Fresquez. That's short dog. Okay, cool. Chat box. For those of you that listened to my last show, And y'all remember the call from Short Dog in the chat box. That's Short Dog. Shouts out to Short Dog, Elias Fresquez. Shouts out to you, my guy. Salute, salute, salute. I got a super chat earlier from Bing is Now, or is that Being I Snow? Being I Snow. I think it's Bing is Now. Shouts out to you. He dropped a 5 in the super chat. Says, I can't wait to see more from you, Voch. He says he's an IT guy and he's excited to know what my build for my new computer is going to be. Tell me this, if there's any people that deals with computers in my chat box right now, tell me this. Can computers listen with their ears? Because first of all, my laptop is old as hell right now. I'm running an old refurbished like 2011, 2012 MacBook Pro, right? And ever since Bing is Now, gotcha. And ever since I said I'm gonna buy a new PC, a big powerful mug I can run my streams and gaming on, ever since I said that, it seems like my laptop got senioritis and it's just processing things a lot worse than it did at first. I think my laptop is incredibly petty. Have y'all had any experiences with that? Because I try to make a video, it just go to bed. It start to lagging a little bit. My apps don't respond no more. It's just interesting. Ever since I said I'm getting a new computer, my laptop just kind of been getting a little weird on me, man. Tell me if y'all have any experiences like that. But anyway, Google can hear you indubitably. Anyway, let's get into this for a minute, man. Before we get started with this Cam Fleming film, and this show may not be too long, but we'll see. I wanted to talk about our rookies and kind of where they fit in with the depth chart or whatever, right? And what made me think about this was somebody asked me, it might be on Twitter or something. Somebody asked me, they say, yo, Voch, assuming that Team Toxic doesn't get reinstated, or the two founding members of Team Toxic don't get reinstated. That's Randy Gregory and Alden Smith. If those guys don't get reinstated, what does our defensive end situation look like? Our defensive end situation looks like a gang of Tyrone Crawford, some I almost said Donovan Wilson, some Dorrance Armstrong, some Joe Jackson, mixed in with some Bradley and I. That's what it looks like, right? And just off the rip, I mean, okay, cool. That sounds like a solid little defensive end unit that you can probably win with, okay? But things get interesting when I say things like, what if Team Toxic is good to go? What if Randy Gregory and Randy Gregory and Alden Smith, what if they are good to go? What happens to the room and how many guys get pushed off a bridge? Does Dorrance Armstrong get pushed off a bridge? Guys like Jalen Jelks, do they get pushed off a bridge? You know, we just spent a lot of money, spent the most money on undrafted free agent Rondell Carter from James Madison. He might go practice squad or something, but I don't know if you put him on practice squad because he seems to be like one of those high priority free agents. And if you put him on practice squad, then another team could possibly take him from you, you know, but we have a lot of hopes for our young players. Like, I was really excited about Joe Jackson last year. Dorrance Armstrong probably hasn't lived up to the, you know what I mean? But if Team Toxic is good to go, Dorrance Armstrong got to leave, correct? Is that not the case? And then how are we going to differentiate who's going to be left in, right in for us? Is my thing, right? Because it always goes back to what I say. We always talk about shooting dice in the bathroom, right? Alden Smith, we don't even know if he's going to play football. We don't know where he's at. He ain't played ball in 7 years. We just assuming that he can roll out the bed and be okay. That's fine. But we have a little more faith in Randy Gregory. But these are both guys that are essentially on 1-year deals that we're really banking on. Do we cut somebody that's a legitimate future piece to be good right now? I think that's a real life question. I think that's a real life question. I like that comment. Let me write it down. That's what I want to get good at. I want to get good at looking at the chat box and writing things down. I'll come back to that. So Dorrance Armstrong is a piece for you. He may have like 2 more years in the game. Fine. Because I don't think we pay a guy like Dorrance Armstrong. Joe Jackson, we just drafted last year. He's got another 3 years in this thing. We know we can somewhat quasi depend on Joe Jackson to be around. And I would hate for us to let go of Joe Jackson and he develops and turn into a really good player just because we rolling dice in the bathroom on Alden Smith and Randy Gregory. You see what I mean? So it's going to be interesting when we get to training camp and how we see these guys navigate. Alden Smith is only guaranteed $28.62, right? It's just that if he gets to his workouts, that turns into $38. You know, if he makes it through preseason, that turns into $50. He don't make $100 until he make it to week 5. And if he plays the whole season, then he gets his full contract, right? So Alden Smith is fine in terms of contract number, but I don't want Alden Smith to get that nudge just because he's Alden Smith and what he could be and his name and him living off old bodies. That ain't necessarily what I want. Also, something that I don't want Alden Smith to be a guy that has to get his sea legs up under him. And he's one of those guys that don't really get good till week 7. You know, Randy kind of did that a little bit. Randy kind of took his 5 weeks to get going, but then week 6 and 7, he started to fly. But do we have 7 weeks to hope and, to hope and just, assume that Randy Gregory is going to be all right, to assume that Alden Smith is going to be all right? So it's interesting. It's interesting because once upon a time, you would feel really good about Joe Jackson. And then when Team Toxic kicks off, hey, Joe Jackson can go. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's an interesting conversation, man. I saw a comment that says, hey, Joe Jackson is, he'll probably be a little more valuable because he can kick in and play some 3-tech. I understand, but I'm not putting Joe Jackson at 3-tech. That's what, Gerald McCoy and Tristan Hill and Neville Gallimore is for. Especially Neville Gallimore. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not necessarily trying to move people out of their native positions just to make them a rotational guy, just to keep them. So if I had to keep 8 defensive linemen, it'll be D-Law, McCoy, and Poe. We know we got that for sure. Tyrone Crawford ain't been cut yet, so I'm assuming he's not cut, so that's 4. Gallimore is probably going to be around. Gallimore and Hill probably going to fight for it. Maybe that's 6. What do we do with Woods and Dorrance and Jackson and Bradley? Bradley got to make the team. We can't just let Bradley go be a practice squad guy. They'll snipe the shit out of Bradley. You see what I'm saying? I think it's going to be interesting to see who gets pushed off a bridge. And like I say all the time, man, when you have a good team, that's some of the things that you have to worry about. You have to worry about things like this because when you have a really, really good team, some people that you like a lot are going to get cut. We were saying that last year too. And I think we had a good team last year. It's just that, we didn't execute all that well. So we go and sign not Cam Fleming, but Cam Erving, which is supposed to be different. We go and sign him today. And I don't consider Cam Erving to be a tackle. I know he played tackle at Kansas City, but I think they kind of looking at him as a guard, or at least that's what I've been hearing. So now you got to think about what your guard situation looks like. And based on every time we hop on this goofy ass little live stream, whether it be me, Brother Law Nation, Foot Sequoia, whoever it might be, we always talking about a brand new guard that's just been added to this team. Interesting. Assuming that, we know Connor Williams is going to be here. And assuming that, let's just say like Connor McGovern is going to be the center. But even if Badass is your center, then Connor McGovern is your guard. Then you got Joe Looney in the fight. Guys like Adam Redmond are in the fight. You see what I mean? Then you go right and sign Cam Erving today. So who's going to get pushed off the bridge? I think that's interesting. And it's interesting now that after big free agency and after the draft, now we're going to go get some guard. I think this team is really hell bent on we gonna make y'all fight it out of training camp, and I kind of like that. I kind of like the approach of we just gonna let y'all smoke each other at training camp and see what happens. That's exciting. So we're gonna see. Adrian Lindsay dropped a deuce in the super chat. He says, "Are the phones open?" Indubitably, the phones are open. It's on the screen. Everything you need is on the screen. It's in the description. It's somewhere. It's easy. It's easy to find the number. Hey, Miss Sheila. Jack Duncan says, Malik Hooker trade. You know, I feel like if anything, we should understand how important draft picks are. I don't want to trade Malik Hooker, man. I mean, I don't want to trade away none of my picks, man. If I can get somebody in free agency for free, I think that's why they call it free agency, because you ain't got to give up draft picks to buy them. You just got to pay them when they get there. If I can get a free agent for free, I don't want to give up my draft picks to go get a guy, because you build team with draft picks. You don't build dynasties with free agents. You go win a handful of games. You may be in some Super Bowl competition when you get there, but you don't. That ain't team building. You build through the draft, and then you sign some people here and there. Don't give away your picks, man. Keep your picks. Keep your picks, because you never know. Because you never know who you're gonna get. You never know who's gonna be on the CeeDee Lamb. You never know who's gonna be on the board when it's time for you to pick. So relax. No, I like Malik Hooker, but no. If they cut him, I'll sign him later. I got a phone call. 803. Who this?
Yeah, what's going on, Roz, man? First time caller, man.
What's happening, my guy? What you got for the show?
Oh, man, I've been listening to you. You know, I'm one of those Cowboy fans, too, man.
Okay.
I wanted to just get some points across, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, I hear you talking about the defensive line thing, and I think the competition is going to be great.
Yes, sir.
But let's think about it. Let's think about it a little bit. This new coaching staff has been watching extensive film from all of last year, and probably all the time that these current Cowboys have been there.
Right.
And they have seen some things on them film that some of the guys that we talk about that came back and played are not in their plans. That may be Connor Williams.
Sure.
That may not be in their plans.
Sure.
That may be some of these defensive, they got rid of a lot of these defensive backs, but some of the incumbent safeties like Woods might not be in their plans.
Sure.
And they're building their squad of saying we're coming in with a fresh start to try to enhance the competition. If you're going to be there, you're going to have to play your way on there. There's no more of the Jason Garrett and the coaching staff that says, okay, these are our guys and they can not practice, be hurt half of the training camp and still play on Sunday. This is not, I don't think that Mike McCarthy and his staff signed on to come in on resting on the laurels of what people have done in the past. Because his win now is now or never. He got to win now. And with the defensive line, we got to understand. I know we talk about Alden Smith, and I think it's been about 4 years since he actually played for the Raiders. But we talk about Alden Smith. If Alden Smith is 75% of what he was,
yes, sir,
that's all pro.
Sure.
He was dominant.
Yeah.
And you talking about a freak of nature. And we're not talking about a 35-year-old guy. We're talking about a 30-year-old guy.
Sure. If
he's focused. We talk about he could be a game changer for cheap. I think the Jared and the Jones family has done a great deal of good work of getting great. That's a cheap player. The Dalton pickup was a great move. I think they caught that person, caught Andy Dalton in a place where with this thing going around with this causing the delays. I know y'all can't say it on the radio thing, but
right.
This thing is going around causing delays. You looked at a quarterback and say, I'm from Dallas. I have a house in Dallas. let me sign on for 1 year where I could be closer to home and don't have to worry about getting up, replacing myself. I can do this for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a deal for $3 million for a great backup in case something happens. And I think building our roster with a lot of depth, because we got to understand there may be some casualties during this season from people getting ill,
Mm-hmm.
people maybe having someone around them get ill. There's going to be a whole lot of different scenarios that's going to happen to football teams this year.
Sure.
And the deeper you are, the better you're going to be able to withstand all this craziness that's going on. And that's why I think they're picking up, guards and stuff. I don't know. I think they're in the process of maybe trying to change their offensive line out.
Sure.
I think there's some. I don't think Dallas is in the mode anymore like they used to be, of extending contract, restructuring contracts, and pushing the can down the road. I think they're ending that because they found out pushing that can down the road causes a big log jam somewhere down the line. So they're trying to get themselves together, and this defensive line thing, like you said, is going to be it's going to be really hectic. I think, but in one position, I think they need to try to address that I haven't seen them address. I'm not too sure about the linebacker core.
Yeah. Linebackers are fine.
I don't think.
Yeah. They got Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith, but then they re-signed all of the backup guys that they had already. So Sean Lee, Joe Thomas, Justin March, and Luke Gifford, the young rookie, came in last year and did okay. He's gonna come back healthy and all that. So I think the linebackers in a really good spot. What I really liked about what you said is that we may or may not be tied into to these guys from the last administration. You see what I mean? So guys like Cedric Wilson that we feel excited about, they may not have a plan for them. You know what I'm saying? Or guys like Joe Looney, matter of fact, Joe Jackson and them. So so I think it's probably going to come down to camp or whatever. Like there's some guys that you can't get around. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless. Lael ain't going nowhere. Zach Martin ain't going nowhere. D-Law ain't going nowhere. But these other auxiliary people, they probably gonna have to find their spot, man. And I think that's what's gonna make
all seats available. This is a play. This is first come first serve.
Yeah.
Whoever plays the best get the seat, and because there's no time. None of these coaches are coming in this thing, and I think a lot of Cowboy fans need to understand one thing. We can have. I think that the team last year was talented, but I don't think good talent can't survive bad coaching.
Okay,
it's gonna make it mediocre after a while. You can have greatest talent in the world, but if you have bad coaching, it's gonna bring it down to, and otherwise it's gonna be up down. So we hope that this coaching staff is a coaching staff that's gonna come and get this talent to the next level. Of pushing this stuff. And the only way you do that is you provide competition and you don't let anyone have any passes.
100%.
And that way you can get a lot out of it. So I enjoy your show, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Salute. Oh man. It's interesting, man. Let me hang this up. I watch a lot of nature documentaries, man. Love animals. I love animals, and I think sometimes people like lions for the wrong reason. Lions ain't shit. Like, lions ain't cuddly. Lions are vicious, and when lions take over a new situation, they come in and take a pride over. Not only do they kill the alpha lion, but they kill his babies and anybody else in that pride that they deem useless. You know what I'm saying? So Mike McCarthy might come in and deem some of these lion cubs useless, whether it be little baby cubs or, okay, I see you growing. I mean, I'll let you hang around and click the, clean the territory up. But I mean, you ain't eating first. You ain't eating second. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some parallels in there. There's some similarities in there. And I think when Mike McCarthy got here, I mean, we saw it immediately with Cooper Rush. Like, Cooper Rush immediately got chewed up and pushed over. You know what I'm saying? And I think after training camp, Gonna be a lot of people heads getting chewed up and pushed over. We'll see. We'll see. F Lions, they some busters. Let me tell you something about Lions, bro. And on my Voch's Voice podcast, I'm gonna do a whole 2-hour show on Lions. I didn't know Lions actually rode in gangs. Lion gangs exist. Like, you thought like Lions was cuddly and Lion King and Disney and shit. Lions rolling gangs. They either gonna beat you one-on-one or they gonna jump on you and take your territory. That's real. Go watch a lion documentary. They call them coalitions, but we talking about football today. We ain't talking about nature and shit. We moving on. Adrian asked me, was the phone lines open? Indubitably. Adrian, what's up, man?
Hold on. So also another cool fact about lions.
Yes, sir.
They have the texture on their tongues are so strong they can lick the skin off a human being. Not chew. I mean, lick the skin off a human being.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How you know that, my man? Where you read that at? Where you read that at?
I'm just saying, if you ever watch the documentaries, like they're literally like licking the skin off of zebras.
That's evil.
Like it's just that strong. But I guess if we're getting onto the football sense,
that's some evil shit, man.
I would say the one thing that's been irritating to me the most about all these talking heads are saying like, oh, they're treating the Cowboys as if it's the same regime. It's like, oh, it's just Mike McCarthy. That's the change. It's like you have to realize that we got the only person that stayed there was our offensive coordinator from last year, and I think the difference between this regime the regime that we have this year and the one from last year is that our assistant coaches have less of an impact on what happens in the draft,
yes,
but they're allowed to bring in talent that's going to be cheap from free agency.
Yes, sir.
Like it's so much better the fact that, hey, we're going to take a chance on this guy that we're going to pay less than $1 million on against the cap versus wasting draft picks on a guy that's going to be a waste of time, a la Taco Charles.
Right.
And so I'd rather see, it's better to see like, hey, we're going to take this high profile guy, CeeDee Lamb, that you were crying on stream about during the drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And then in free agency, we're pulling in all these filler guys that we're going to be able to use throughout the season.
Yes.
And if they play well, we're going to get draft picks back on them, like we got with Robert Quinn, Jeff Heath,
sure,
Jason Witten for some reason, our defensive tackle that went to the Raiders as well. I think what Mike McCarthy wants to do is like, hey, we're going to have all these guys that are going to come in, they're going to play well,
sure,
and then we're going to let them go, and we're just going to keep getting draft picks from them every season.
Yeah. So
we can just keep pulling in cheap talent every year.
I don't know if training camp is going to be open to the public or whatnot. But if I have an opportunity to go, trust me, I got y'all. Let me tell you what I don't like about Law Nation. Y'all can tell them I said it. Let me tell y'all what I don't like about Law Nation. Y'all can tell them I said it. Him and Big Game James, him and Tyson West Coast. They walking around training camp with all these cameras and everybody recording the same thing. Dak Prescott throwing. We want to see O-line versus D-line, wide receiver versus DB. We want to see the one-on-ones, man.
Yeah.
We don't want to see Cooper Rush throwing goal line fades to John V. Johnson. What's wrong with Law Nation? Y'all can tell them I said it.
We're never going to see that in a football game. We'll never see that in a football game.
If I go to train, if it's open to the public and I go, especially if it's in Frisco, even if it's in Cali, I'm going. I'm gonna have the footage y'all want, man. I'm gonna have the footage y'all want. Believe that. Adrian, what else you want, man?
I think that is it. I mean, I guess with team talks, if that doesn't happen, obviously, like you said beforehand, it's gonna be Tyron Crawford and Joe Jackson, Joe Jackson as well.
Sure.
I think that will be fine. And Bradley and I will work out as well. And then I guess this is my last point.
Okay.
Everybody's been hating on Tyron Smith and thinking that he's too old and leaving. It's like, well, guess what? The Redskins just got Chase Young. Man, Dak, I can sleep well at night knowing that we still got Tyron Smith blocking for Dak or whoever's gonna be passing back there.
Listen, man, when all these bottom feeders, when all these civilians, when all these I am legend monsters come out here talking about Tyron Smith, I I just gotta ignore him, man. I gotta disagree. Adrian, thank you so much for calling in, sir. You've been a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes, sir.
Great call, by the way. I'm gonna keep taking calls, man. If y'all want to call into the show, the numbers on the screen is in the description. But I'm about to put some film on the screen because I haven't watched any Cam Erving film. I keep wanting to call him Fleming because Fleming trash. I'm about to watch some Cam Erving film. About to put it up on the screen for y'all to see, just so I can have an idea of him. But we're gonna continue to take calls. I'll just be taking y'all calls while I'm watching Cam Erving film. So the number is in the description, man. Y'all check it out and all that good stuff. All right, let's get back into the phone. Oh, yes, and there's a bunch of new people that's tuned in right now. Of course, we're going to be doing a film session after this, so y'all kind of hang tight. I'll be dropping that for y'all expeditiously. Indubitably. Now, Dante, what's happening?
Oh, I feel special. The young man remembers the older gentleman.
Hey man, platinum privileges. What you got for the show, man?
Man, listen.
Okay.
I'm really starting to think that we got us a coach.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm really believing we got us a coach.
Okay.
The problem with us not winning a championship in 25 years is the fact that when we transitioned from Jimmy and then went to Barry, when we got the mascot, we didn't have a coach.
Okay.
And we brought in Parcells, and Parcells was a little too far gone with his philosophies for what he wanted to do.
Right.
But I think this is the first time in several years we got as a coach. I truly think so. These moves we made, somebody ain't going to be sitting at the table at the end of the day. I'm truly believing this. I don't know who it'll be, but I really believe somebody ain't going to be sitting at the table. Now, maybe that somebody might be Tyrone Crawford.
Jesus.
Maybe, now I know this one might shock you, but what if we could do a deal and get that money from Tank Lawrence off the books? And get a couple of picks. You don't think so? Well, yeah, I guess because the cap hit would be too hard.
Cap hit would be.
That's $20 million in a trade.
That man got paid. That man got paid 24 hours ago. That'll be like $50 million in dead money. So nah.
Yeah, you're right. But somebody ain't gonna be sitting at this table. It's too many mouths they're bringing in.
Okay, sure.
So I see that. Listen.
Right.
I think you're the best dude in the game.
Okay.
I would like for you, if you get an opportunity to break down line play and explain it to a guy like me, I can see the talent, the skill positions, and say, oh, this dude can play or this dude can't play.
Okay.
When it comes to that run of that line play, because I ain't never played no football, I ain't tough enough for that.
All right.
I'd like it if you would point out what makes what. Like when I see dudes, when I see him big and fast, I think he's supposed to be able to be a beast.
Okay.
But there are nuances, I guess, to the game that I don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
listen,
young brother,
I have a really good offensive line. I would say like tutorial video, and I think you could type in Voch Lombardi offensive line. And to be fair, honestly, during the season, you can find any video that I did on the offense. I'm talking offensive line in all those videos. But there is a video, you can type in Voch Lombardi offensive line, and I'm breaking down college film of Tyron, Lael, Zach Martin, Travis, and a couple other people. I'm breaking them down, but I go into a lot of nuanced O-line conversation there. So that's the video that I kind of direct people to when they're looking for just technique stuff. But watch any of my draft film on any of just the linemen that came out this year.
I definitely watch you, man.
Yeah.
You a beast with it.
I appreciate you.
Have you started looking at these young boys coming in 2021?
No, sir. I don't really like to rush and be first, so I let the peanut gallery and all them kind of get going or whatnot, and I start in January.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's how they getting that money.
Yeah,
And you better than them dudes.
sure.
You better than them dudes.
Sure. I just play a mean game of catch up. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Okay, just look at this one quarterback. Look at Trey Lance.
you talking about the North Dakota State
Check
kid?
that dude out.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
I got you.
Ooh. All right, brother. Hey, man, you keep doing it big time, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm a fan for life.
Hey, man. Appreciate you, man, because I need them.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day, Mr. Dante.
All right. You too, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Chat box, I know I said I don't know the next class of people, but just because I say I don't know them don't mean I don't know nobody. Like, I just don't know it in a very detailed way that's up to my standard of knowing people. I know of a lot of people coming out next year. It's going to be some quarterbacks next year. Some running backs, some receivers next year. The best receiver probably in college football last year coming out next year. But we'll have that conversation whenever we get to it. But we looking at Cam Fleming, so I'm just kind of watching him. I'm not breaking him down right now because I don't feel like it. But he's the left tackle. He's number 75, so I just kind of got it running. Y'all can look at it. I'll be looking. If I see something interesting, trust me, I'll pause it and break it down for y'all. But I'm just trying to get an idea of who he is before we really run it for the cardio. All right, let's get back into the phones. Hear what y'all talking about. We got Frankly Football Brandon. Hello, sir.
Oh man, that feels good. They said I had 5 people waiting, and I'm the next guy up.
It's a gang. It's a gang of people outside the club, boy. It's a gang of people, but privilege. But privilege.
I'm on the list.
Mm-hmm. What you got for the show, sir?
So Voch, I was thinking today, right?
Yes, sir.
I was just watching some old film and all of that, and also thinking about the guys that we picked up into this offseason.
Sure.
I feel like edge rush is still like a real position of need as far as going into camp. Well, however we gonna do camp this year.
Sure.
Going into Zoom, I guess. Anyway, I digress. Edge rush is still a sneaky position of need. Yeah, we got D-Law on one side, but then on the other side, it's a whole lot of question marks.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say, Alden Smith, Randy Gregory, they may not work out. Who knows?
Sure.
But then all of the other guys that you brought in, if they don't pan out, do you feel like this new coaching staff is confident enough in this year's team to pull the trigger and try to inject some help if it doesn't pan out?
First of all, this is so interesting. And I'm watching this Cam Erving film, and I was like, "Boy, that was a terrible rep." Then I look back up, and I'm like, "Oh, he's against." He's against Von Miller. My bad. My fault. I didn't mean for this to be your first impression. You were saying that if it doesn't all work out, you think we should go out and look for some help at DN, you say?
Yeah, through free agency. Well, not free agency, through trade in the middle of the season. Because I feel like
that happens. Yeah.
Right now, you should not try to waste a year if clearly the front four is not up to par after a few weeks.
Yeah. Cowboys did that with Bennett last year. Like, Bennett wasn't a free agent period signing. Like, he was a trade guy. He was like a midseason trade guy. So Cooper was a midseason trade guy. Am I trying to give up first round picks to go get people? No, not necessarily. Or just any kind of picks to go get people. I would rather just kind of see what we got. But based on like what you were saying though, I'm not ready to say that we have an edge problem. I just don't think we have any solid faith in anybody just yet, because we got a bunch of unproven 2020 people. Like, we know what Randy Gregory could be, or what Alden Smith once was, or what Bradley and I did in college. And, there's a lot of people that's kind of sick of Tyrone Crawford in general, but we just have a lot of questions is what it is. We're just not certain of anything. I think that's the big issue.
I like Tyrone Crawford, unlike a lot of people. I just think that
I'm a big fan.
Lower body has made a paper mistake.
Oh, God, relax. I ain't never seen Tyrone get hurt that much. Relax, man.
Double hip, man. Double hips. Both of them jump.
That ain't nice, man. That's not nice. But yeah, man, and there's some people trying to talk me into Clowney right now. I mean, Clowney would make me feel better about the right end situation, but I just don't think that's what Steve and them going. I just don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if I'm ready to spend big money just yet on a guy like Clowney because, I mean, clearly he's still a big fish in the pond right now.
Sure.
But if you can go get one of those guys, like Pittsburgh obviously got a few good ones.
Yeah.
Philly got good D tackles. I'm not sure about the other end, though.
I don't want nobody on my team that's been drinking Philly water. At all, sir.
But look, man, they like to fight, man. They obviously like to fight.
Well,
look at their stadium.
Well, me too.
If they can help the team, I don't care if they've been drinking Flint water. If they can help the team, all right.
That's fair. That's fair enough. I just don't think we have a problem. I just think we have a lot of guys that are unproven, and sometimes people don't like unprovenness. Sometimes we just want guys to make us feel better about going into the season with them. So
definitely.
I think sometimes Cowboy fans, would rather live off an old body than to try and see if something new works. Let me say this too, chat box, before I get back to talking to Brandon or whatever. Like, I hate Cam's feet. They get on my nerves, but he's not dying to Von Miller right now. I just want to say that. But go ahead, Brandon.
Cam Erving is one of those guys where I really got to go back and look at everything from him because I mean he played for Cleveland, and I don't really watch Cleveland like that.
I'm not going that far.
So for me to feel comfortable on him, I gotta find a lot of good for me to feel comfortable with him being there and just trying to keep it as it is.
Well, if I can give another piece of perspective, when he was coming out of Florida State, he played tackle, but he was drafted as a center, and then he got moved to guard. Then he got moved to tackle back to guard. And then he started playing swing tackle. So, and I don't even know if he started this year. So Camden really played all 5 spots. So if he wins, then he'll be a swing everything guy for you. I just wanted to put that tidbit out. But go ahead, Brandon.
Do you think that he is good enough to take one of the number 2 guy spots right now?
See, that's my problem. I really like my number 2 guys. I really like Connor McGovern. Tyler Badass is young. I know Brandon Knight can play, so it'll basically be him versus Brandon Knight, basically. So.
Hey, and I'm glad you mentioned Colin McGovern because he slipped my mind for a second. I'm eager to see him with a little bit of meat on his bones now. And don't get me wrong, he was a big guy before, but it's a difference between your rookie body and your grown man body.
Sure.
I'm really excited to see Conor McGovern coming into camp.
Sure.
Because he'd have been hitting the protein heavy, got built up. So I'm so excited for him.
And that's why I'm not really in the business of writing players off till their 3rd year. Like year 3 gives me a good idea of who you are as a player. I know there's a lot of people that want to write guys off at the year 1, but you ain't gonna get a lot of production from your year 1 guys this year. Bradley and I may not be good for you year 1. Tyler, especially Reggie. Trevon may not be good year 1. The only one I got faith in is old Sedarian, and the rest of them is we'll see. But you good?
Now,
go ahead.
My last question, and I'm going to hang up on this one because I just want you to have a little monologue on it.
Okay.
Do you think that this offense is good enough to carry a defense that may be middle of the pack or lower middle of the pack to a late playoff run?
I think this offense is going to be –
I'm going to end on that note.
Okay. I think this offense is going to be so fantastic to where all they got to do – all the defense got to do is not let Aaron Jones score 4 touchdowns on him. You know what I'm saying? This offense is going to be so great. All they got to do is not let Mitch look good or not let Sam Darnold look good. Our special teams unit has no choice than to be better than they were last year. They don't have a choice. I was fussing with one of the I Am Legend monsters, and this was my notion. The Cowboys went 8-8 last year. They shouldn't have been. But we lost 4 games because of field goals. And that's just me being extra. I'll even say 3 games. Because we we lost to the Packers for real, but that was because of a tip pass, some other things, whatever. That was more so execution errors than anything. But we win 3 more games if we had a better field goal kicker. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11-5. You already feel better about your team now. You make the playoffs. You have a winning record. If your team is 11-5 last year, we're not having these mixed thoughts or these conversations. Now, on top of going 11-5, on top of making those field goals that you would have missed, not ranking 32 in kicking game. On top of that, if you don't let Aaron Jones get 4 touchdowns, you might go 12-4. If your defense doesn't let Allen Robinson and Mitch run all over you, you might win 13 games last year. I don't think our offense was a problem. Our offense may not have been the greatest show on turf, but every week you're not going to always be greatest show on turf. There's a thing in the league called ugly wins. And sometimes your offense ain't going to look good. Sometimes your defense ain't going to look good. But what you got to do to get ugly wins is execute and make field goals. That might be what you got to do. A lot of times we didn't make field goals. A lot of times Cam, oh no, Cam. Sometimes we just didn't do the right things. You know what I mean? So, I know a lot of people don't like to hear from shoulda, coulda, woulda guy. Voch is very shoulda, coulda, woulda guy. So get over yourself. I think this team will be fine, man. I just think last year was just Murphy's Law, bro, in my opinion.
Jason's Law.
I'm hanging up now. Hey, appreciate it, Brand. Thanks for the call, my guy. Get Brandon.
Appreciate you, Voch. Dude, keep doing good, man.
Indubitably. Let me get Brandon.
The conference has been locked.
We're going to lock the phones, man. We got a bunch of people calling. Got a gang of people on the phone. Let's see what privilege looks like. Okay, let's get to this one. Hey, look, this is what privilege is right here. Short Dog, what up, man?
What's up with it, Voch?
Man, coolin', my guy. What you got for the show?
Not a whole lot. I just want to call in and talk about Cam Erving and tell you what I think of him and what I think. I mean, look, he's anybody we pick up at this point. Everybody, they're not going to cost us nothing on the comp pick, sure. and they're going to be, if they can play, if they make the roster, it's valuable. If not, they don't make it. Mm-hmm. But the guy was a 19th overall pick. He actually played defensive line as a freshman. Came in and he played left tackle for a couple years, and then he got drafted as a center out of Florida State. Didn't do too good at the Browns. Started 7 out of 13 games for the Chiefs last year. I really like what we got inside. Watch, I think Connor Williams is legit. Sure. I really do. I think a lot of people are down on him. If it was up to me, I really think if everything would go perfect, I like Tyler as the center. I don't know if that's going to happen. Sure. And I like Connor because he's a smash mouth, big, move you, punch you in the mouth type offensive guard. Right. So I would like that. And then Connor as our swing guy. I mean, he'd be a hell of a swing tackle because I think tackle is where he's really good at. Mm-hmm. But I'm very comfortable with the whole team all around. I mean, even on defense. I mean, people always hunting for Everson, Griffin, Clowney. I think we got guys. I mean, it's just a matter of going out there. If something comes up, somebody that we think can help us for a low price, then we get it in, and we just sign the guys we got, and we're looking good. Right. But I'm calling for another thing. I look back on that. You playing in the dog, you were a dog out there, bro. When you were out there playing center, I liked your game, man.
Man, I was all right, man.
You were killing that. I need to see you too, because you're just doing it right there, bro.
For
blocking, coming out, and just doing that thing.
For those of you not aware, because there's a bunch of new folk in this channel, probably 10,000 new subs that wasn't here last time. But I dropped a Voch Lombardi film session. I found some of my old film in high school, and I made a film session out of it. So that's what Short Dog is referring to. I was cool, Short Dog. I just kind of did my job. Ooh, Cam Fleming got 8. Cam Erving, same thing. I did my job.
You did a hell of a job. You're a heady guy. I could see why you're the GOAT of this game, because being a center, you see everything. You know all the nuances. And good. I just want to call and say what's up, Voch, and I'll be watching all your videos and see you soon, bro.
Man, Short Dog, appreciate it, man. Salute.
You take care.
Chat box. So everybody looking on the screen right now, before I take my next call, man, let me just get into this offensive line stuff for 1 second. Everybody look at your left tackle right here, man. Look at your left tackle, Cam Fleming. This what I mean when I was talking about his feet earlier. Yes, he was, surviving against Von Miller, but I was watching, man. I was like, man, I feel like if Von really did Von things, Cam's feet wouldn't save him every time. Look at Cam's feet, man. Let me see if I can slow motion this thing. I can. Let me just run. Let me fast forward. All right, let's run it. Let's run it. Snap. Let's just watch Cam's feet, man. Let's just watch Cam's feet, man. Ugh. Cam. My goodness. Cam. You know, sometimes when your feet get real short and choppy, like they can keep moving. But sometimes if they get short and choppy, you don't cover as much ground as you would like. And you can look at Cam's first steps and you can see he covered a good bit of ground, and then he slowed his feet down. They got real choppy, and Von got on him real quick. Look at this. Big step, short, choppy step. Did you see it? Chat box, did you see it? Comment section, did you see it? Cam gonna go from big ass steps to two short, small, choppy steps, and those small, choppy steps allow Von Miller to get on him real quick. Look at this again. He go from big step to short, choppy step. Look at this. Big, short, choppy step. See that? And Von got on his ass real quick. Damn. But to be fair, though, Cam has been doing a very solid job versus Von Miller. Von been getting on him, though. Von been getting at him. But Cam has done a solid job of not dying a slow, horrible death. So I will say he ain't Chaz Green out there. Can we get a hand clap for that, though? Can we get an applause for that, though? That he ain't Chaz Green? At least. But boy, if I could just be a little extra with him, I hate his feet. Let's get some more privilege on the phone. 100 grand, what's up, sir?
That boy, a little better than Chaz Green. That ain't nothing but a Cam body, dog. I don't even know why you wasting your time on that boy.
Well, see, this is 100 grand.
I do not want Dak Prescott to get his leg broke like 2 years ago.
100 grand.
Come on, man. And that boy, I hate that boy. For that boy to be 300-something pounds and to be bad like that. Now, I said, oh, he 300. This is before I checked him out. He 300-something pounds. Okay, I'll run. He's going to be sick next year. Then I got to looking at the boy. I said, this ain't nothing but a camp body.
100 grand.
I don't even know why they even picked him up.
First of all, 100 grand.
Man.
First of all,
come on,
100
man.
grand. First of all, 100 grand. You an East Coast guy. So I know you listen to hip hop. I know you listen to Jay-Z. Jay-Z said Hove did that, so hopefully y'all ain't got to go through that, right? I'm watching film, so you don't have to.
Okay.
I got to get them back for what they did to the Cold Crush. You know what I'm saying? But what you got for the show? What you got for the show, DJ 100 grand?
I just, I just was talking about that. Just talking about him. You feel me? Like, if he make the team, cool. But if he don't, then it really don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah. Go ahead.
I like that we're investing in our offensive line again. I want some big boys. I want some 300-pounders on that offensive line.
Sure.
Because I feel like, hey, if Dak got all day to throw the ball, it's over. He's sitting back, it's over. Zeke eating, it's over. We putting up. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. I can't play that. I can't play broadcast. Hold on. All right, cool. There we go. All right, there we go. I'm listening to you. Go ahead, 100 grand. My bad. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
And because I know our defense gonna do the damn thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, we gonna have a hungry, jumpy. They ain't no sitting back. Ain't no sitting back. Just don't give up a touchdown. We gonna give up as many yards as we want to. We just don't give up no touchdown. Nah, we gonna attack these boys. I'm ready. We gonna have a nice hybrid defense.
Sure.
That's gonna attack, gonna get interceptions. I already know what the deal is.
Sure.
I just want our offense. I want Dak to have that 2016 offensive. Could you imagine 2016 offensive line with CeeDee Lamb?
Hey, man.
And
you better stop.
Come on, man.
You better stop.
And Coop.
You better stop.
Not Jazz, Beasley,
that's enough.
And Harris Williams.
100 grand. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. You better not. You better not.
And don't forget about Tony Pollard, who you could put on the field at the same time as Zeke. Oh my God, bro. This is what we wanted to happen last year.
That's enough. $100,000. If anything, DJ $100,000, I'm really excited about. Hey, if we just can bring bodies in. Look, if anything, if Cam Erving's job is to get smoked by Bradley and not to make him better, then fine. Let that be his job, and just get cut. 1 week later, then fine. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? I just don't mind having people with a little bit of pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Cam was around the Chiefs all year. Tell us how they did this. Talk to us about how they did that. Just whatever.
I agree. He was around the Chiefs all year, and he played. And this is what the talk is. Well, he did play every line in a position, but he got smoked.
He was getting smoked, $100,000. Look, $100,000.
He got smoked every.
Look, $100,000. This is something else I noticed. He wasn't even starting. I had to look. I had to look through 6 games to find him. I found him one time versus the Broncos. I just looked up the Super Bowl. He ain't even playing that. So, it's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. And you looking at the Clay Matthews is eating him alive. Clay Matthews ain't even. Come on, man. Come on.
It's what it is, DJ $100,000.
He's looking at the film, and he's come on, man. I do not want that man on my team.
$100,000, relax.
Now, this a whole new regime. Now, this ain't Rob Melinelli back there. If they say, look, man, this ain't Rob Melinelli back there on the team. This ain't Chris Bouchard. This a whole new defense. Now, if they said, listen, man, we could fix his feet. We could teach him how to throw his weight around. He'll be a beast.
You talking about Cam Erving?
Cam.
All right, man. Time to holler at you, man. $100,000. I appreciate you, dog. This was a great call. Appreciate it. I appreciate you, dog. This was good. Call in next time. We're not gonna go there. For those of you that just tuned in, I know a lot of you are just now touching down into the show. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got 350 people in here. Appreciate y'all. 85 likes. Let's get some more likes up here, man. We're trying to get up in the algorithm so we can grow as a channel. You hear me? We're watching film after this, so I'm gonna get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calls, and after those 5 calls, we're gonna go over to the other stream and we're gonna watch a little bit of film on one of our undrafted free agents. All right, so y'all stay tuned for that. But let's get into some of these calls here. Spinny JP, what's up, man?
Hey,
what's good, my guy?
Man, I was loving the show. Actually, man, we've been cuddling for years. Never got no stiff competition.
Spinny JP, I'm getting a little bit of turbulence from your phone, man. What you burying somebody in the woods, man? I can't hear you. Spinny JP burying a body, man. Okay, try again. There you go. Go ahead.
Is that better, Voch?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was thinking that you think we done cuddled Dak for too long?
Nah.
Regarding competition
Nah. I mean, I think
challenge him.
Nah, man. I mean, Dak had to beat Tony. That ain't no coddling. He had to beat Tony, and Tony was gonna come back and start, but shit, Dak went 9-1. I don't think that's I don't think that's very coddling. I just think in terms of quarterback competition, it's hard to find it. It's hard to find good backup quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And I just think Cooper Rush was the best we could do at some point. In terms of like the budget and all that. You know what I mean? But if Andy made himself available, then fine. Let's make Andy available. He's kind of in that same breath as Mark Sanchez to me. So Dak had to fight for his definitely. I don't think we're coddling him. No.
Why would he go after Cam though?
Because Cam probably
challenge him.
Well, because Cam probably don't want to be a backup. See, Dalton is fine coming in and sitting down. At the end of the day, this is Dak Prescott's team, and Dak was better than Cam last year. Well, Cam was hurt last year, but Hell, I think even if Cam would have played, like Dak was top 3 in all stats, well, top 3, top 5 in all in every quarterback metric last year. So I think Dak would have beaten Cam out anyway. I just think with Cam it comes some injury history, and I just don't think Cam wants to be a backup for anybody.
Okay, so you think that if Cam would have started for us this year, that he would have got to the playoffs?
Shit, I don't know.
And probably the Super Bowl?
Shit, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he could have.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
I gotta ask Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange, no, but go ahead.
So if you bring Cam in to challenge, it's all too late now. But if you would have brought him in to challenge Dak, and Dak would have played backup, would you have been happy with that?
I mean, whoever the best guy, whoever's gonna win us ball games, it don't matter. I mean, I don't have a marriage to Dak. You know what I'm saying? I just think Dak is playing really well. Like, it's people in this chat box that'll tell you right now, when Tua was a freshman and Dak was kind of going like 9-7, I was like, hey man, I can't wait till we get Tua. But Dak improved.
Yeah.
And I just consider Dak a top tier quarterback now. It's only a handful of guys I'll take over Dak right now. Maybe like 3. You know what I'm saying? If you factor in age and how good they are and what they like project to be, I'm not taking I'm not taking that many people over Dak right now.
Let me ask you a question. Did he take too long to get rid of the ball?
Dak Prescott?
Or indecisive? Because he don't turn his head. I've been watching some of your filming,
right?
Some of his film. Did he turn his head to look for the second and third options? Because when he's fixed on one, he just goes with what he got.
I don't agree. I don't think Dak gets fixed on one option. I think if anything, people may say Dak holds the ball too long because he's looking for an option. So like your two questions kind of conflict with each other. He's either holding the ball too long or he's kind of just held on one guy. I don't think that's the case. But I think Dak improved at getting rid of the ball quicker because last year, well, I keep saying last year, but year before last, Dak was the second most sacked quarterback in the league with 58 sacks. Dak only got sacked 23 times last year, and I think that was because Dak is letting it rip more. Dak is getting rid of the ball quicker, so I don't think he holds the ball very long anymore.
All right, you got faith in him, man?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
Tell me why you don't.
So you want to sign him that contract? I just like every game. I mean, he's decent, good, but it seemed like a good competition. Like he's lose focus. Like he ain't there. He's like he's
what's so what
plays well for a few quarters. Let me finish real quick. He plays well in the first quarter and he come back and he try to win the second, even though the defense is struggling.
Sure.
But it's the main things. He's not focused.
Yeah.
It seemed like everybody liked Lamb. Okay, that's cool. We got Lamb, but
sure.
I'm hoping this Kendrick Rogers makes a team because he can go up and get the ball in the red zone.
Okay.
And so if Dak ain't gonna run, he needs somebody to throw the ball to. I mean, but I don't know, man. I give him one more year.
So
I give him one more year. I'll give him one more year. The defense is decent. I give it a rank 8 right now, and between 1 and 10, I give it an 8 because we missed one of them linebackers. But yeah, I give him one more year, man. I keep on his franchise.
Do you think Dak has gotten better since his rookie year?
I think he's gonna progress a little bit.
Spinny JP, he led the number 1 offense last year. He was number 2 in deep ball accuracy, better than Pat Mahomes. He was just behind Russell Wilson. He was number 1, 3, and 5 in all important quarterback metrics. You know what I'm saying? Like yards, completion percentage, QBR, like touch, like you know what I'm saying? Like he's top in all those numbers. But winning is totally different from his stats. So I give you that though. Winning, like you can have stats, but if you ain't got wins, it don't matter.
Yeah.
But Dak is still the second most winning quarterback in the National Football League since he's been there. You know what I mean? So this is
only thing I gotta say. If he if he could that deep ball down the sideline, that's the one he struggles in.
He was the second most accurate deep passing quarterback last year, though, Spinning JP.
Yeah.
You know
what
I'm saying?
I'm talking about down the sideline that he missed.
He
got a few.
Everybody missed him. Stafford missed him. Brady missed him. Rodgers misses them. You miss deep balls because deep balls aren't necessarily high percentage throws. They're chances. They dice rolls. You know what I'm saying? We watched Tom Brady last year. Shit, you watch TV, you watch football. Tom Brady throw the ball deep and the ball not even get there. The ball ain't even always get there sometimes.
That's age, though. That's from age.
That's fine.
From age.
Cool. Dak is good and young. Dak was the second most accurate deep passing quarterback in the league last year. And he was like top 3 in deep pass attempts. Because I know somebody in the chat box is going to say, well, Voch, he just didn't throw a lot of deep balls. Bullshit. We saw him throwing it deep to Devin Smith. We saw him hitting Gallup deep. He hit Coop deep. He was hitting guys deep. He was also top 3 in ball travel. So this ain't just me, I'm going to throw a slant to Gallup and Gallup just took it for a long pass. This ain't that. This is ball traveling in the air. He was top 2, better than Mahomes, right behind Russell Wilson. Dak can play. I just think we lost games because of field position, special teams, and Jason Garrett just couldn't cut it for us. I said 2 shows ago, there is absolutely no reason for somebody to think Jason Garrett is terrible and to think Dak Prescott is bad. There's no way to not like both of them. You either if Jason is bad, then you think highly of Dak. If you don't like Dak, you must like
tomorrow,
Jason.
Right? We get your schedule tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Or Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Okay, I want you to do a favor for me.
Okay.
You probably going to go online, you're going to chat, you're going to break down the schedule, right?
I'll tell you who we playing.
I want you to look at this. I know that, yeah, but
okay.
You don't know where we're going over. We're at home on the road, right?
Yeah.
I want you to look at that schedule. Look at that schedule real good, real deep.
Sure.
And you tell me the games you think he can win and will lose, and why he can't win those games, because this defense is going to be phenomenal.
Well, see, this is my thing.
The pieces back.
This is my thing. Like, I think really highly of this team. I think we can win all those games. Now, we're gonna have tough fights with the Ravens. We're gonna have tough fights with the 49ers, maybe. But I got us like beating the shit out of the Steelers. We're gonna beat the shit out of the Seahawks. Like division guys, we've constantly beat division guys. I don't fear anybody in this league. And I know as a Cowboy fan, it's easy to be pessimistic. It's easy to be like, man, I don't know if we're going to beat them. But just as much as we would think to be nervous of the 49ers and the Ravens and the 49ers looking at Dallas like, bro, they going to have 3,000-yard receivers. They got Zeke, offensive line. Dak is great. Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? They looking at us just like we looking at them. We just don't look at ourselves in that way. You know what I'm saying? And I would love for our fan base to look at ourselves more in that way. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, but you know.
I can respect that.
Right, but this would be an ongoing conversation that we'll have throughout the year. I'll be doing lives every week, and I know you'll be calling in. But Spinny JP, let me say this, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm saying this and let you go. If
I held you too long, man. Too long.
You good, brother? You good? This is me and your show right now. This is me and your show.
Yeah, but
let me just let you think
break
on
that
this.
down for me. This.
Okay. How about watch this? If Brett Maher was better, say we just had a better kicker.
Right.
Say we had Kyle Forbat the whole year. If Jason Garrett wasn't bad, if at the end of the Vikings game when Dak was beating the shit out the Vikings, right? When Dak was beating the shit out the Vikings, but at the end they decide to run a toss, run an option with Zeke, and we lose in the red zone at the end of the game. If we just trust Dak to make them throws, we probably beat the Vikings. On top of our kicking game, on top of special teams being terrible, if we fix those things and we have a better team, I don't think you'll be saying that Dak isn't a great quarterback, because it don't matter if he's elite. It don't matter if he's the best.
You trust him to beat those good teams?
I do. Let me tell you why. Because and this ain't just me talking to you. I want all Cowboy fans to listen to this. I want everybody listening right now to take this into account. Who gives a shit if Dak Prescott is elite or not? Because we can listen to TV. We can listen to hating ass Eagles, Giants, Redskins fans. We can listen to I Am Legend monsters. We can listen to hating ass Cowboy fans. We can talk highly about Dak Prescott. Somebody's going to say, Dak ain't this, Dak ain't that, Dak can't win you a Super Bowl. Bullshit. Nick Foles can win you a Super Bowl, right? Dak ain't got to be elite. He doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the league. He happened to have some of the best numbers in the league, but he doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the league. As long as you get the formula and win the Super Bowl, that's all that matters. If the 49ers would have won the Super Bowl last year, not a soul would have said, yeah, but that don't mean Jimmy Garoppolo good. It don't matter how good Jimmy Garoppolo is. The product matters. It don't matter how good Nick Foles is terrible. Just because Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, that don't mean nothing. Nick Foles is terrible. He got his job taken by the mustache kid. And he about to take Mitch's job, and the Bears going to be just as bad as they are. But Nick Foles don't matter because he won in that game. That game is all that matters. So it don't matter how much help we get in Dak. It don't matter how many receivers Dak got. It don't matter the offensive line or running back or defense or head coach that Dak got. It don't matter how much Dak is getting paid. Dak can be making $70 million a year while the next best quarterback making 33. If we win the Super Bowl, shit, it don't matter. We just got the highest paid quarterback in the league making $7 million that we won a Super Bowl with. Fuck it. You see what I mean? So let's not just micro.
You answered my question. You didn't answer my question.
I wasn't answering your question. I was not answering your question. I was going on this long soliloquy. Yes, I think Dak can beat any team that you put in front of him. I think Dak can beat any team that you put in front of. Dak has he's run numbers up on defense before. I just said he was beating the shit out of the Vikings last year. It's a team effort though. We couldn't tackle Dalvin Cook last year. We couldn't tackle Madison last year for the Vikings. So we don't win those games because we couldn't stop those people. Aaron Jones scored 4 touchdowns. We couldn't stop those people. Sam Darnold got off. Mitch got off. We couldn't stop those people. If your defense is better, if Brett Maher is making those field goals, we're not talking about Dak Prescott. We're not.
Right.
It's a team thing.
I agree with you on that.
That's all I'm saying. So yes, we can beat those top and Spinny JP. Here's another thing, and I promise I'm gonna let you go. It ain't always about beating the top defense because Pat Mahomes was looking real shaky versus the 49ers. The end product is all that matters. The end product is all that matters. You run the ball, Damian Wilson get his rushing touchdown, and you do something at the end, then your defense make Jimmy Garoppolo look as terrible as he is. It don't matter how Pat Mahomes looked versus the 49ers defense. Pat looked as human as we've ever seen Pat. But since they win, it don't matter. So what I'm saying to you, Spinning JP, is Dak is going to smoke these easy-ass defenses. That's what he's supposed to do. Dak is going to smoke these intermediate low-level defenses. That's what he's supposed to do. But if Dak goes up against the Ravens and the 49ers this year and he only get 192 yards and 32 rushing yards, but we win, it don't matter. That's all I'm saying, Spinny JP. Hey, this was a great call, man. I appreciate you, man. We gonna keep talking all year, man. Appreciate you, my guy.
You play football at Natchez?
I 100% played football at Natchez High School. Yes, sir.
You played offensive line?
I played center. Yes, sir.
Y'all play against Brookhaven?
We played Brookhaven in middle school, but Brookhaven was 3A, and we was playing 6A at the time.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
Yes, sir. But I do know.
We played against them when I was going down there. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Appreciate it, man. Great call.
Okay.
Great call. Right. Great call. I know I got on my soapbox, Cowboy fans, but damn, if Dak can't pass the ball, that's what you build your team for. If Dak can't throw the ball, run it. If Dak can't run it, ask your defense to step up. If your defense can't step up, that's one loss. Fine. I hope we don't play no more great defense. Let's see what happens next time. Anyway, let's get back into these calls, man. That was a good little back and forth. That was a good exchange, man. And some people would call it caping for Dak Prescott. I just think it's a conversation. I just think it's a conversation worth having. And sometimes when I get loud, it don't mean I'm right and you wrong. I'm just passionate about what I think, because there's a lot of people in my chat box. I was on this Browns. I was on a Browns YouTuber the other day. A couple weeks ago, Quincy Carrier. Shouts out to him. And I was talking about draft, and I got loud because I get passionate, right? And somebody in the chat box was like, "Yo, that dude seems arrogant," and blah blah blah. I'm like, shut up, bitch. But but I just get passionate, man. I get passionate because that's just how I feel, man. That's just how I feel about a lot of these things, man. I just think we need to look at everybody in the mirror. You know, it ain't about who's Dak beating or losing to. What is Brett doing? What did D-Law do? How could Robert Quinn have been better? Van Der Esch don't need to be getting hurt right here. Jalen Smith need to stop going outside of his job description. Do your job, Jalen Smith. Then maybe we won't have this conversation. You know, we shouldn't have 41 drops last year. You see what I mean? I just think we should have more of a holistic conversation than just microing on Dak. You can win a Super Bowl with Dak, because you can win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? You can win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's just, you know, let me move on, man. We got 4 callers. We're going to get them in and get them out. Then we're going to go watch some film. You heard me? Let's go Neil. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's going on, big homie? How you doing?
Everything, my guy. Sorry for letting you hang on the phone too long. I got passionate. What you got for the show, bro?
Hey, fam. So, like, I've been trying to think about, like, how everything is actually coming together right now. And how everything is looking for the season.
Yes, sir.
One thing that I've been trying to figure out, we've got basically 3 number ones. That's the way that I see it.
Sure.
CeeDee Lamb, probably, I'll say year 2. Because if you remember, Michael Gallup, everybody was like, you know, I like Gallup, but we're not sure what to think of. I was like, I like this. Year 2 broke out. Year 1, he was actually banging out. So is that. And then last year, you see what happened. I think the CeeDee Lamb is going to make this kind of similar to, like, the greatest show on turf sort of thing. But then, like, I started looking at the rest of the team. Somebody was talking about how this can be something like carousel type of thing from year to year with Mike McCarthy. That makes me think. Do you think that this is going to be something like the Bill Belichick sort of thing? Because, you know, he does things where he's like, I like you. We use you this year. After that, I don't know, you know, moving on afterwards. You think it's going to be something like that?
Well, the Cowboys have done that before, you know, where we'll just kind of rent a guy, you know. Randall Cobb ain't come back. I don't think Michael Bennett's coming back, you know, like Quinn, you know what I mean? So it's possible that guys like Alden Smith, it's possible like they may not be here next year, or Cam may not be here. You know, it's Dontari is on 2 years, and I think Gerald's on 2 or 3 or something like that. But Clinton Dix is on a 1-year contract. So, you know, I think what the Cowboys do is that they build their core drafting, but then they'll just kind of fill in some auxiliary pieces, you know, with 1-year deals, and if they really like you, 2-year deals. And I think that's how they navigate, you know, with their monies. But they're going to live and die through the draft, though.
I think that I like the way that things have progressed with, you know, the team as a whole.
Sure.
I think the coaching staff, like when McCarthy came in, when they announced him, I think that everybody was kind of like, oh, snap, this is going to be automatically, you know, place us in Super Bowl contention because Garrett's not there. The way I see it, slow down. Let's let some games play. Let's see what he's got going on. Allow us to actually assess the situation and see what he's actually bringing. And then, like, if things are not working as, you know, people want it to be, because I know that everybody wants to hit the ground running 100 miles an hour, you know, not everything is going to go 0 to 60 in less than a second. You know, I think that a lot of people automatically assume that this is what's going to happen. But I also think, I'm questioning, do you think that CeeDee Lamb is actually going to come in and actually immediately get implemented? Because, like, if he does, do you think that it's going to be a problem with, you know, say, Amari? I think that Michael Gallup is good with where he's at because Dak always finds him at the right time for whatever reason. But I wonder if, you know, the touches, you know, now that Amari's getting his money, do you think that if CD starts seeing more stuff, do you think that's going to be like problematic?
Yeah, man. Coop ain't no diva, man, and that's a good thing about him and Gallup. Really, they not divas. And the Cowboys would have had 3,000-yard receivers last year if it wasn't for, for drops or whatever. Like if it wasn't for Cobb's drops, and he probably like miss a game because of like injury or something like that. I think we would have had 3,000-yard receivers, and Dak would have smoked Tony Romo's season like records or whatever. But So if this was a bad team, then I would subscribe to the don't get your hopes up theory. Because I agree. I do think coaches kind of need a little time to, get their thing going before they like get into it for real. I think the difference between this and a lot of situations is that when coaches go to new teams, like the team is normally like a bad team. For the most part, like when coaches get fired, teams are bad for the most part. I think this is a really good team. If you look at what Matt LaFleur, Green Bay. If you look at him, he comes in immediately and they go straight to the championship game, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they got guys on their team already. So Mike McCarthy, he ain't got to be extra. Mike McCarthy don't have to be a savior. He ain't gotta, come in and do nothing silly because first of all, I believe Kellen Moore as an offensive play caller, offensive mind. I think Kellen Moore is gonna get even better, and he was fantastic last year, number one offense. Like that's him. We just got to get better on special teams, man. We get better on special teams. Let Mike Nolan do what he gonna do. You know what I mean? Just small little game time decisions and all that, man. We'll be fine, man. We'll be good to go.
You know what? I've been thinking about this for a while. I think that if we had return guys, and that's one thing that we haven't had, then Miles Austin rookie. Well, I think that since Dez Bryant rookie year, as return guys, that's what we really need. Split position guys, split field guys. Yeah. And I wonder. Yeah. Is Robinson that type of kid where instead of like trying to see what he can do at cornerback, just 440 speed, put him on the other end, let's see what he can do, try to flip the field for us? You think that that's what we could actually do with him?
I don't think that's the case because like in new football or whatever, it's not a lot of kick returns anyway because kicks just going out the back of the end zone. Unless you're playing against the Cowboys because Brett Maher can't kick the ball out the back of the end zone. And I think that's another reason why, whatever. But Maher's going now, so that's good. But, yeah, man, like, it's not a lot of kickoffs and, like, it's not kick returns and punt returns rather because it's either going out the back of the end zone and just teams have gotten really good at covering punts now. So I don't necessarily that ain't gonna help us very much. That ain't gonna help us much. We just got to worry about getting down and covering punts and tackling on damn kickoff. That's our job, and kicking the ball out the back of the end zone. That'll immediately make our special teams better. Go ahead.
I think that last year I don't know I don't know who was responsible for that. I mean, like, is that Jason Garrett? Is that like, defense coordinator? Is that special teams coach? Is that just like players not knowing what's going on? I really don't know.
There's a dude named Keith O'Quinn that was in charge, and he's terrible, and he ain't got a job no more, and he still ain't got a job. That should tell you everything you need to know. He's gone now. He's gone now, and we have the coach from the Rams, Fossil. This is Jim or John. It's one of them. People in the same family, they name themselves the same names. Jim or John Fossil. The younger old Fossil. He was over at the Rams, and he was a really good coach over there.
I remember when they signed him. Okay, so like, here's my last question. Yes, it's kind of like a twofer, maybe a little bit more, all intertwined. Because like I'm looking at this signing,
Time out. How you gonna ask 6 questions and make the last question a twofer? What do you mean? What are you doing?
My bad.
Anyway, go ahead, my guy. I ain't say nothing. Go ahead, Neil. My bad. Go ahead.
Hey, look, in the Army, we kind of do stuff like that. It's kind of like, slick, oh, by the way, sort of thing.
You know what I mean, my guy?
I'm used to it. My bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man.
Right.
I appreciate what you do, bro. And I don't just want to say this to sound like all the typical people that say it. Let me tell you this, bro. I love the fact that I live in a country where I can shoot guns and get on the internet and say what the hell I want and not get stoned and hung for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, man. I love my freedom. Now, answer your question that you've been building up.
Okay. And by the way, I've called you for a while. I called you while I was overseas. I was the guy who told you, the Dak was an unpainted canvas. That's me. But I feel like,
well, your name in the system, like you.
I need to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Alden Smith, Randy Gregory, right?
Sure.
As two very powerful but been out the game free agents. Alden Smith had Justin Smith on the other side when he was like breakneck, get out my way guy in San Fran. And then like he was just like check my talent guy in Oakland. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Randy Gregory, he had D Ware, as, move out the way, or you're going to have to figure out which one of us you're going to have to deal with type of guy. Okay?
Mm-hmm. So
I'm wondering, do you think that both of them are going to just, make life easier for D Ware? Like if they do get reinstated, because I've been trying to figure out like whether or not they're going to have that ability to get reinstated or not. But if they get reinstated, do you think that they're going to be those type of guys? Or do you think that it's going to be like week 5, week 6, let's see where we're at type of thing?
Probably so.
Or do you think it's more or less just fill in holes?
The difference between Team Toxic and your current young guys that's on your roster, right? Think about Dorrance Armstrong and Joe Jackson. In order for those guys to be good, they got to be current. You know what I mean? They got to be on a roll. They got to pick up momentum. They got to take in lessons, and then we can potentially get some kind of production out of them. And that production was 1 sack for Dorrance, no sacks for Joe. Okay, cool. The difference is Randy Gregory and Alden Smith's skill set. They don't rely on technique. They roll out the bed better than people. You see what I mean? Like they just roll out the bed. Like some people just blessed with natural pass rush ability to where you ain't even got to be in good shape. Like Randy ain't got to be in great shape. Randy wins with length. just get back in shape. Just, get back and play in shape and use your length and you fine. Alden Smith just used grown man strength. Right. Alden Smith used grown man strength in first step. Hey, get back in shape, get back in the weight room, get back acclimated. It's not like they using super technique to whoop people. They're using natural abilities. So what we're hoping for with Randy and Alden is that they roll out the bed, training camp, preseason, and maybe like week 5, them gears start to firing for real. And that's when they start to really come on for you. That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, and I that's what I've been thinking. Like, I would really be great if they could just like hop out the bed and then go, to week 1, 2, and then all of a sudden they're like already in 5th gear. I thought about another question, but I'll say that for another time because that's a whole other situation. But I just wanted to point out that last year we did have a guy named Michael Jackson and a guy named Joe Jackson. I just thought that was kind of funny, thinking about Jackson's bit. Thought that shit was kind of funny.
Indubitably, 100%.
I appreciate the comment and think about, I'm looking forward to the season, and I'm going to continue to listen to you for as long as I can, dog, and just keep up the good work, man. And I appreciate everything that you've done for the community.
Damn, appreciate you for what you do for my community. Shit. Salute, man.
Yep.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something, man. I love the fact that in my country, if somebody wants to do harm to me, if somebody wants to do harm to my family, if somebody wants to take my life, I live in a country where I can get you before you get me. That's fantastic. Hey, look, let me tell you something about this country, man. The people in it may be a little weird. Like, you're going to run into some weird people, but that's what happens when you put a whole bunch of people in this room, like in one room or whatever. But the country as a whole, you mean to tell me I could do whatever job I want? I could just be whoever I want to be. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you how grateful I am before I move on to the next call. If I was in another country, they'll see me big as hell, strong as hell. They're like, you know what? You're going to dig ditches for the rest of your life because you big and strong. They wouldn't let me talk on a microphone and make people laugh. They wouldn't let me talk on a microphone and analyze football. I'd be fighting in the arena or something. I'd be a pro wrestler or something. Some old mess. I love freedom, man. I love freedom. OG Trap, what's happening?
What's going on, Voch?
Everything good. What you got for the show?
Great show again. Always enjoy myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of points. My first point is, when you first started out, you were talking about Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my question.
Okay.
Who is our defensive lion? I ain't seen him yet. I've been watching, but I ain't seen him. I heard him talking about hot boys, but I ain't seen no defensive lion. The guy who roars and the rest of the defense knows it's time to eat people.
Sure.
I ain't seen it. So whenever I hear people talk about our defense going to be this, our defense going to be that, I keep saying, I don't see the lion.
Can I offer you a thought, sir?
Sure.
Let me offer you a thought. So there was this stat that came out, and I hate stats, but it coincides with the film that I was watching, that DeMarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn were the most double-team defensive ends in the league. So that's one thing, but here's me agreeing with you. If our two defensive ends are the most double-team D ends in the league, I need my 1 tech and 3 tech to tear shit up. Malik and Antoine did not do that. You see? So, first of all, if we can continue to give props to DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he didn't get the sack number he had the year before, he was the second best defensive end versus the run. Let's get that out the way. But if they gonna double team D-Law and they gonna double team Robert Quinn, I need my 3 tech to do something with his one-on-one blocks. I need my 1 tech to do something with his one-on-one blocks. And I think the Cowboys have kind of addressed that. I agree last year our D-line wasn't pretty, so I'm 100% on your team with that. But shouts out to my front office, though. Shouts out to my front office. But go ahead, sir.
But what I was saying was, like you saying, okay, they two was the most double teamed.
Yes, sir.
Where was the line to tell the other two that's in the front, in the middle, hey, y'all got to make some shit happen.
Sure.
Or we going to wreck your ass.
Sure. Sure.
That's what I meant by the line. They got to be that one motherfucker.
Okay.
Or two, where everybody knows if you don't do your job, you ain't got to worry about the other team fucking you up.
Sure.
Because we going to fuck you up.
Right.
At practice, after practice. Right. We're going to be telling the coach to get you the fuck out of here.
Right.
That guy. We need that guy on defense.
Well,
the other thing is that the other guy was talking about Dak.
Okay.
Because for some reason, people keep going back to Dak.
Right.
And I like the point you made. It don't matter what Dak do if we win the Super Bowl. And that's true. But let's get some points out the way.
Right.
Point number one. His first 3 years, he was under Lanahan as his offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And every defense in the NFL knew every play they was going to run when he threw the ball.
Right.
They wide receivers kept saying, look, can we do something now?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper got punished for saying, "Dad, look, fuck that shit. We're going to do this."
Yeah.
Anybody remember any of that?
Right. No.
Because if they remember any of that, then they understand, why was he holding on to the ball long? Because the corners and safeties was sitting waiting for it to throw the ball at.
Yeah.
So I got to hold on to it so you can make another move so I can try to get the ball to you.
Yeah. So I don't think the National Football League works that way. I know like high school and college work that way, but if you if you talk crazy to these grown men, you might get punched in the mouth. So,
hold on. I understand what you're saying here. If you talk crazy to them,
right?
But let's get some things clear.
Okay.
When Charles Haley was running the fucking defense for Dallas,
Charles Haley don't exist no more. Charles Haley does not exist.
No. I'm just going back. When we had the guy that McMillan was playing middle linebacker. He played like a year or two, and then he left. Just said, "Fuck it, he want to come back now."
Sure, Rolando McClain.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
McClain, ain't it McClain?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Former Alabama, former Oakland Raider. Sure, gotcha.
Yeah, him.
Right.
He was the crazy guy on our defense. The motherfucker was like, "Oh shit, I don't want this crazy motherfucker on my back."
How you know?
That's all I'm saying. You gotta have at least one or two of them where everybody has enough respect and fear of.
Can I ask you a question, sir? Who's the crazy maniac in Kansas City on defense?
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger ain't Honey Badger ain't getting in nobody's face, just smacking nobody in the mouth.
No. Hold on. We don't know what he said in that locker room.
You don't know what Charles Haley said. You don't know Rolando McClain said. You wasn't in there. You don't know Rolando McClain said.
We got stories in which Charles Haley said.
What page is that? What page that's in? What YouTube video is that? I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying.
I just think that's
that's all I'm saying. I ain't saying they gotta run around and be smacking people and fighting people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is somebody who sets the bar. Like Randy White set the bar. He ain't have to run around and smack nobody, but ain't nobody run him on the ass.
So you don't think that D-Law is that leader of this team that keeps guys in line, that keeps guys accountable? You don't think D-Law does that?
Do I think he do that? I don't think he did it last year. Before last he do it.
See, you know what happens is though.
Last year I think he was glad to get his money, and he was dealing with his injuries.
No. See. In my personal opinion, I don't think players change necessarily. I just think we look at teams differently, you know, whether they win or lose. I don't think D-Law got chill out of nowhere, because if you look at his media interviews, he's still cussing the media out. He's still saying, "Oh, we gonna do it. We gonna," like, he still is that rowdy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that when you lose, you just look at your team a little less. We can have a team with 22 gentlemen. They know where to put your salad fork and your steak knife. They can be proper pinky finger tea sipping gentlemen. But if you win the Super Bowl with them, hey, we just won with some gentlemen. I just think winning and losing is responsible for your perception of the team. And when you lose, you look soft. And when you look soft, you think that these people are soft. But D-Law is crazy. I
feel that I've watched plenty of games where I've seen teams lose.
Yeah.
But they won. But they actually won the game. They didn't win on the scoreboard. But when you looked on the field, you was like, they whooped their ass. They lost the game. But physically and punishment on that field, they won. And we all have seen those games.
Yeah. I got you, my guy.
I've very rarely seen any of those games out of our defense last year. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. And that comes down to execution. You just want to see us play better. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But hey, great call to OG Trap. You made some good points, man. Salute.
All right, salute.
Yes, sir. Salation. What do you say? I tell you what though, y'all want to talk about somebody hollering? Two people was hollering on this defense ain't hit no more. Michael Bennett and Chris Richard. Boy, they was screaming. Boy, Michael Bennett and Chris Richard was screaming at everybody. Hey, what you want me to do? What you want me to say? What you want me to do? Boy, look. I remember somebody on Twitter. Somebody was like, "Why the hell Chris and Shaw yelling so much?" I'm like, "Cause they keep getting burnt." Y'all thought he was yelling because he's a good coach. He was yelling because they was getting picked on out there. Yelling don't fix nothing. Give me some cerebral. We got 2 more callers, then we're going to watch some film, man. Let's see what y'all talking about. It's been a great show so far. I've been screaming on people, man. I need to relax, man. I've been just defending my little Cowboys, man, but whatever. 661, what's happening? Who this?
I'm Dolphy.
What's happening?
I'm from California.
Dolphy, what you got for the show?
Well, first of all, I think you don't need an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Sure.
However, you do need something elite on the team, like coaching or a defense. So, like I think there are some, quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl, like Nick Foles. However, I do think they had elite coaching.
Sure.
Dak Prescott, I don't think he's elite, but he is good. Sure. Definitely better than Nick Foles.
I think he's really good. I think he's really, really good. Let me ask you a question then, because I'm liking where you going with this. Do you think you can have an elite offense without having an elite quarterback?
I'm sure. I don't think it could be elite. I think it can be consistently very good, but against the best of the best, I don't think it's going to hold up.
I think the 49ers had a fantastic offense, and they only lost the game because they were forced to throw the ball. But I think you can have a top-tier ass offense with a regular-ass quarterback. I think you can do it. And I think Dak is better than a regular-ass quarterback. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I agree with you with the Niners offense being elite, but I think it's because of the coaching, not because of the quarterback necessarily. I think, what's his name on the...
Garoppolo.
I forgot his name.
Garoppolo.
Old Falcons OC. What's his name?
Garoppolo. Oh, no. You talking about the Shanahan.
Yeah, Shanahan. I think he's an elite offensive mind.
Huh?
Definitely one of the best. So, I think if he would have had a better quarterback, then they would have won the Super Bowl. But, what are the odds? So my only thing for the Cowboys, I guess, what I would say is, if they're going to have – I think it's easier to find an elite QB than it is to find an elite head coach. So, I give Dak Prescott 2 years with this new head coach. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, then I would say to start looking for your next QB, because I think it's easier to find an elite QB than it is to find, an elite head coach.
So this is where we about to fuss, my good sir. This is where we about to fuss. I don't think you let go of quarterbacks like that. Saying Dak needs to win a Super Bowl in 2 years is incredibly irresponsible, in my opinion. I think that's incredibly irresponsible. I don't think it's that easy to find elite quarterbacks. Unless me and you have a different definition of elite, I don't think it's easy to find elite quarterbacks. The only reason we have a notion of elite quarterbacks in the National Football League is because in National Football League structure, guys just get paid and they just hang around for a long time. So we have names like Drew Brees and, Aaron Rodgers and them just kind of hang around a little bit. But besides Pat Mahomes, who's the new elite guy?
A new elite guy?
Who's the new elite guy since it's so easy to find them? Who's the new elite guy?
I mean, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson ain't elite. He's
part of his game.
He's an elite athlete,
part of his game.
but he's not an elite quarterback. Give me somebody, please. Who's the elite new guy?
Not really a new guy, but
Huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that any new elite new guys. I mean, Carson Wentz, I think, can play.
Oh goodness! I'm stopping you. I'm cutting you off.
I
don't care who you.
I'm not.
You can be a soccer fan. I'm cutting you off. No, sir. Relax. No, sir.
Okay. Here,
let me ask you a question, my good sir. If you were an NFL GM and you had Lamar Jackson, that you kind of quasi called him half elite, if he doesn't win you a Super Bowl in 2 years, do you move on from him?
No.
So why the hell are we moving on from Dak? Why ain't moving on from Dak?
Because there's certain things that
I'm making too much sense.
Lamar has that Dak has. Like
Dak
what? Dak is solid in all points of his game.
Okay.
Lamar has an elite running game, and he's kind of okay at passing. He's not accurate. He has a big arm, but not consistently accurate.
I don't think Lamar Jackson is a. I don't think Lamar Jackson is a great passer.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you with that.
I
But
think-
I think that can be improved upon to eventually be a good enough passer to win a Super Bowl.
So you want to keep a good enough passer. If a good enough passer don't win a Super Bowl for you in 2 years, you want to let him go. But if the guy that's number 1, 2, and 5 in all important quarterback metrics don't win, you know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? I understand.
It's very hard.
Listen, I understand Pat made it look easy, but shit, Lamar and Deshaun Watson ain't won a Super Bowl. Andrew Luck, as good as he was, ain't won a Super Bowl. Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers ain't won a Super Bowl in a decade, and they the best of the best, sir. Why we gotta let that go in 2 years? I don't get it.
Because I feel like Dak has had one of the best rosters, at least these past 3 seasons.
Lamar Jackson is 0-2 in the playoffs, and he has a great roster. I think the Baltimore Ravens are one of the
Cowboys definitely. I feel like the Cowboys roster is definitely top 5 consistently for the past 3 years.
You don't think you don't think the Baltimore Ravens are a shining example of great team building? Shit.
I don't think they're okay. I honestly think if
boy.
you move Lamar Jackson to the Cowboys, then Lamar Jackson would win a Super Bowl because I think your guys' roster is better than the Ravens roster. Quarterbacks aside.
Who your team?
You're gonna just hang up on me when I tell you.
You a Giants fan?
Yep.
Well, I'm not gonna hang up on you. I'm not gonna hang up on you because that wouldn't. I'm not gonna hang up on you because that wouldn't be fair of me. We're only having a conversation, sir. I just kind of want to get us on the same page before I hang up on you. This ain't me fussing at you or screaming. I just want to get a good idea of what's going on. The Baltimore Ravens are a fantastically. I don't even know if I'm saying this correct. I don't know if my subjects and verbs agreeing. But the Baltimore Ravens are a fantastic run organization in terms of team talent. And Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback. I think he's really good. And I think he is elite in terms of athleticism. It's a lot that goes in the quarterback play. Dak Prescott has won more playoff games than Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you can kind of take that for whatever you want to, but this is my one last question. And you a Giants fan, this is going to make a lot of sense. So listen, time out, chat box. I want everybody to push their headphones real close to their ear when I ask them this question, because this question is going to make a lot of sense. Then I want the chat box to react when I ask them this question. Dolphy, you ready? You ready, Dolphy?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. How do you feel about Jason Garrett?
I think he's only going to be here a year. I think he's going to give Joe Judge experience.
Not how he fits with the Giants. Not how he fits with the Giants. As a coach, how do you feel about Jason Garrett?
Like OC or head coach?
In general, as a coach.
Solid, but not the best.
Do you think
he's capped out?
Solid and not the best. How about that? Do you think you can win a Super Bowl with Jason Garrett?
I don't think I can.
So why in tarnation are we putting that on Dak? Why? What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's why I said give Mike McCarthy 2 years with Dak, because Mike McCarthy has won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, which is elite.
Goodness.
So that's why I'm saying I think Mike McCarthy is a good coach. He had an elite quarterback that won him the Super Bowl. But Dak Prescott is a good quarterback with a good coach, I don't know if that's good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Well, Mike McCarthy got another elite quarterback to win him a Super Bowl this time. I appreciate you, Dolphy. This was a great call, man. I'm not gonna hate on you because you a Giants fan or anything. I want to be incredibly fair with you. I kind of fear the Giants more than I fear the Eagles. I don't really get into the whole fan rivalry thing. I think that's kind of weird. But thank you so much for calling, man. This was a good one, man. I enjoyed talking to you, my guy. I enjoyed. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I enjoy your content.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir. My goodness. Why? He say, Dak, you got 2 years to win a Super Bowl. That's it. We're going to move on. Like, who we going to bring in? Who we going to get? Who we going to get? Can you imagine? Everybody, please listen. Let me write this down, too. Can you imagine cutting Dak Prescott, right? And you go into a draft class with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, and saying, oh, one of them quarterbacks is going to be our next Dak Prescott right there. Can you imagine going into that draft with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Josh Rosen when you could just keep Dak Prescott and change something else on the team and just do whatever works? Can you imagine? My goodness. And look, Rue Glock made a fantastic point. He just don't want Dak in Dallas. No, he wants Dak out of Dallas. I think everybody that's hating on every team of a person or a person team or whatever, like Eagles fans, like Giants fans, I think Dak been beating the shit out them. Dak was 0-2 versus Giants his freshman year. After that, Dak been beating the shit out the Giants, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? You gonna say Carson Wentz? Oh my god! I've been arguing my ass off today, man. What's the deal here? I wasn't planning on screaming this much. I did not plan on screaming this much. Nova Legion say I'm on fire. I didn't plan. I must have drunk some milk this morning. I don't know. Let's get this last call in here before we move on to go watch some film. All right, let's get it done. Let's go. James Wood, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. What's happening, Voch?
Everything's everything, sir. How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Hey, man, why you let Big Blue get in the in the room?
Man, listen, man. What I've learned, man, and this is as humbly as I can say this. I just think my show is just good enough to where Giants fans will listen to me talk Cowboys all day. I don't get it.
I'm telling you, man, they're like, and then you're turning them into believers, bro.
Hey, man, they're gonna be on the team sooner or
That
later.
dude said Carson Wentz.
I tried to ignore him. But I cut him off.
Man, I thought you was gonna hang up on him. I said, gee, here's the one thing about Dak that Dak has that no one ever counts. He can't be. I mean, he's indestructible. It seems like the dude. The best ability you can have in the NFL for me is availability. You know, and you got a guy like Dak. He doesn't sacrifice his body too often, which is great. But whenever he does, you know, I mean, you see the guy's a hoss, but it's hard for him to get sacked. I mean, people look at a lot of things. I mean, Trent Dilfer won a damn Super Bowl.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Eli Manning.
You don't have to have an elite quarterback, but
yeah.
But whenever you got a guy that doesn't get hurt, I mean, what happens if you got an elite quarterback and you make it all the way to the playoffs and he gets hurt? Dak ain't getting hurt.
Sure.
You know, I see him grab his shoulder a little bit every now and then, but the dude is a tank. You know.
Yep.
I like him. Lamar Jackson. You know, you're comparing him to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, man, it's going to be kind of like Vic. You know, if the guy doesn't develop his passing game, he's going to either get nicked up or somebody's, because a lot of the passing lanes open up for him because defenders will hesitate because they're afraid he's going to run.
Sure.
Lamar Jackson's got a lot of weapons, but he can be figured out. He's going to have to evolve this next year because now there's a lot of really good tape on him and what they're wanting to do going forward.
All right.
As far as Dallas, though, man, the front office has been banging it. They got, they're going to keep adding people, and I hope they keep adding offensive linemen and
sure.
maybe some more talent. But I was wanting to bring up one thing about Mike McCarthy talking about bringing in a safety.
Okay.
And that there was one possibly on the team playing corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person that I think you could be talking about is Chidobe, right?
That seems to be what the Cowboy fan Illuminati theory seems to be, but hell, it could be anybody. It could be one of them, one of them third tier guys that he talking about. It could be Goodwin. Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that Chidobe plays the receiver. He doesn't really play the ball, and it makes me feel like Jordan Lewis would be better as a number one because at least he gives us the opportunity to play the ball, especially since we got two new, a one tech and a three tech up the middle now that can actually, take off some of the pressure from the double teams.
Sure.
So I don't know, man. I just think we need, some guys that can look back at the ball. And I think if you look at Chidobe Awuzie, he did play fairly well at safety, and he's got his, man body now,
mm-hmm.
and he's got good speed, but, I just think that his presence and his awareness would be really good back there. And plus, we possibly have enough depth. I know all those guys aren't going to make it, but we possibly have enough depth at cornerback, and we definitely, if the defensive line comes around,
mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to be able to sacrifice having Chidobe play in the back because we're going to be getting balls. The balls are going to be coming out a lot faster.
Shouts out
But,
to your
that's if
to your player personnel guy, to your general manager, to your VP. Shouts out to those guys, man, because your front office is making sure this team is filled with guys, and we could just kind of mix and match them people however you want. I think we got a really good team, man. We got a really good team, and we lost,
really?
And we lost because of some weird little, circumstances, and that happens in the league. I like
coaching, kicking, special teams.
Sure, but I think we're gonna beat the shit out of some teams next year, and we'll see. James, great call, man. Great call, sir.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brother, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Man, this was a fantastic show, man. This show was fantastic, bro. And the best shows ain't when everybody call in and agree necessarily. Not when everybody on the same page. Sometimes you need a little madness in your show. Sometimes people gotta disagree with you. Sometimes people gotta come in and make Voch holler. But it is what it is, my guy. It is what it is. So what I'm probably gonna do is 9:10. I would like to interact with my chat box for like 4.5 minutes or something. Maybe something like that. The phone lines are locked up. We're going to be done with that. But I will be showing love to my chat box because there may be some international people. There may be some people that have talked up their anytime minutes, anytime, the phone cards and all that type of stuff. So I may not have been able to interact with as many people as I would have liked to. So from now to 9:14 to 15, I would like to just take some time out to just address my chat box. Then once we're done here, we're going to run over to the other channel, to the other link, and we're going to watch some film. We're going to watch some film on our undrafted free agent wide receiver, Texas A&M's Kendrick Rogers. I think I have a pretty interesting opinion on him. So I'm going to break down this film, and we're going to run that for the cardio, yeah? Let me click on social, make sure that in. Okay, it's just telling me I'm live on YouTube. All right, cool. Keith Floyd dropped a dime in the super chat. Appreciate you, sir. Chat box, how are you? You got 3 minutes. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what y'all want to talk about there. Let's talk about it. Pick and Pop dropped a dime in the super chat. He dropped one of the super stickers down there. What is that? A pair and some shoes and some COVID gloves and a cape and a headband. Shouts out to you dropping that dime in the super chat, Pick and Pop. Appreciate you, man. I hope all y'all enjoyed the show, man. I hope y'all got some enjoyment out of my takes, man, because this ain't nothing contrived over here. Like, I felt incredibly passionate about everything I said today. So that's just how I feel. Thanks, Voch, for everything, fam, man. Salute. Def Promise. Salute, my guy. This was a pretty fun one. This was a pretty fun show. Over under the Cowboys putting up 50 points on the Giants week 1. Be nice. I do think we're gonna be a shout out. No. Hey, tomorrow you're gonna do a schedule reaction. I don't know, man. Hey, I tell you what though, if the schedule comes out tomorrow, I mean, like y'all want to do like a round table or something? Y'all want to get a round table show in tomorrow? Me and Law Nation and Foster King and Brother Koye come in and talk about this thing. Let me know if y'all want to get a round table going, and we'll see what we'll do in terms of the round table or whatnot. But let's see. Free nights and weekend looking ass, indubitably. Let's see. Watch, the opposing fans want Dak gone because they fear him. That's big facts. That's big facts. Kendrick Rogers taking somebody's spot. Man, I don't have a very high opinion on Kendrick Rogers, man. And trust me, man, I was kind of digging that Kool-Aid for a minute because I watched that same LSU game y'all watched, but boy, my thoughts and opinions changed pretty quick on Kendrick Rogers. Let's see if we get a round table going. What else y'all talking about? Y'all can keep Dak. I ain't tripping. What is he talking about? It seems like Dallas has been looking for corners that are good in press man. Sure, I think the defense is probably going to lean towards press man. Yeah. So, hey, how about this? I'm going to drop this link in the chat box. Y'all hit this link, and I want y'all to run over to that link so we can watch the Kendrick Rogers film session that I did earlier. And when you get over to the Kendrick Rogers, I think I talked a lot on the Kendrick Rogers film section, but I think it deserved to be talked about. When you get over to the Kendrick Rogers film session, y'all let me know that you're coming from the live stream. Just so I can know. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can know what the vibes are. All right, y'all hit that link, man. I appreciate everything, man. The show has been great. Salute to everybody that's tuned in. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is free. There's a basket full of it at the door. Peace, y'all.